First thing, if you're in a moment of difficulty right now, it's tough. It's just tough. Come on, man. It's tough right now. Maybe you're going through a loss, some kind of breakup. You're a little lost in life. The future, you can't see it. There's so many options, but there doesn't seem to be any at the same time. Something in your life, something in your body, something in your mind is difficult, is very hard right now. First things first, admit that it's hard. Say, Scott, this moment is really, really hard for me right now. Scott, the past week has been really, really tough for me. Scott, the last month has had a lot of ups and downs. And I wonder how you are in this moment particularly, because if you're in a difficult moment now, I want to shed some light on a bit of the darkness. And it's taken me decades to admit this. But I am very good at helping people feel good about themselves and the situations they're in. I think I'm pretty good at that. And if you're like me, to say something about yourself like that feels so unnatural and synthetic. Like, someone tells me, Scott, you're great at guitar. I'm like, no, there's so many better people. You know what I'm talking about too. Someone comes up to you, oh, you're such a great artist. Oh, no, I could be better. I just paint here and there. Meanwhile, you're an amazing painter. You're an amazing artist. Yeah, it's fine, whatever. It's just a job. Yeah, it's just a hobby. It's just what I like to do it, rather than admitting to yourself, you know what? I am really good at this thing. In the same way, sometimes it's hard for us to admit that we're going through something really tough and that life is hard and a particular moment is hard. So let's go through this together slowly. Because every video, my friends, I think of myself clicking through YouTube, looking for someone to hear me, someone to listen, someone to know me. And I hope I can sit with you for a bit. Now, the moment can be anxiety. I talk about experiences of anxiety and depression on this channel and my own experiences. And no, not this depression where, again, cold plunge did it. B12 vitamins did it. No, real stuff. And I know you know what I'm talking about. When we're in a moment, it's one thing to say, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be okay. This is going to be okay. I'm going to be all right. I'm going to be all right. Sometimes that might work for you. But at the same time, admit, first things first, admit that it's hard right now. Admit that this is really, really hard. This is really, really tough. Man, am I going through it right now? Vanessa says, oh, you're having a go, eh, Scott? You're having a tough go, eh? I'm like, yeah, I'm having a go. And to admit that to ourselves, can you connect somehow through people you know, through people on the internet, through me, that being human is very hard? The existence and this vessel that we're in is difficult. There is no such thing as an easy life. There's no such thing. No one has ever lived one. And no one will ever live one. It doesn't matter if you live with, all this AI and you get robotic legs and you can't feel any pain. There's challenges with that. Then you're like, well, I'm not feeling enough emotion. Well, these AI legs and this robotic legs, I can jump 10 feet, but I wish I could jump 20. I have no physical pain, but I overthink a lot. Well, I have a huge family and I love my kids, but I miss traveling. Well, I'm single and I'm traveling all the time, but I wish I had a family. Come on now. Whatever situation you're in, is the situation you're in. I know that might not be what you want to hear, but sometimes it helps me. The situation you're in is your situation. It's your situation. And you're saying, Scott, should it be this hard? Should it be this hard? I'm not sure, but it is. You know what I mean? In this particular moment, it is. For you, it is. Doesn't matter if it's hard for your friends, your coworkers. Doesn't matter if it's hard for me. Doesn't matter if it's hard for, celebrities. Doesn't matter if it's hard for your mom or your dad. It's hard for you right now. Own that. Own that it's difficult. And I feel like in that you free yourself up a little bit. You're not fighting yourself. You're admitting the truth to yourself. And it doesn't matter what situation you find yourself in that is hard. You might have just, missed an episode of I don't know, The Latest Survivor. Is that show still on? And that it was devastating to you. If that's your hard, that's your hard. Okay? And if your hard right now is you're going through a breakup, or your hard right now is you've lost some friends and they've moved out of town, or you've moved home, or you've moved back, you moved home, or you moved away from home, different country. I speak to people from all over the world that have moved from their families. This is hard stuff. And we act like we can just pick up and go. And we get this image of other people who can pick up and just do it. And I wondered about those people when I meet them and I talk to them. I'm like, man, for this particular example, you just picked up your stuff and you left the country and here you are. How'd you do that? And it's difficult. Man, you left that job and you went to the other one. Just like that? No, it was difficult. There was a lot of change. There was a lot going on. No one has it easy, and yes, people have more difficult lives than others. I'll give you that for sure. But there's challenges all over the place that nobody talks about. The hardness you're feeling right now, honestly, probably few people talk about. But I hear you, I see you. People are dealing with all kinds of things. And think about, this connection you have, as we were saying, with common humanity, with the human experience. Don't get caught up in everyone just living that perfect lifestyle, the gurus that have it all figured out. In this particular moment, I'm sorry. Push that aside. To seek perfection and to think that people have it figured out is a complete lie. Nobody has it figured out, and everyone goes through hard times. We just don't discuss it. We just don't talk about it enough. What you're going through probably isn't being talked about right now. Maybe it is, but maybe you're not connected to someone who's talking about it. It's hard to be a person. I have a friend whose dad is dealing with Alzheimer's. And what that does to a family is unbelievable. Another friend whose dad has Parkinson's disease. And the first friend I mentioned, his dad also has Parkinson's. You have people that you're dealing with aging parents at the same time. You're dealing with responsibilities at work. You're dealing with relationships. Maybe you're in a relationship. Maybe you're not in a relationship and looking for one, or maybe you're not. Whatever you're in, take your pick of the challenges you want. You're dealt with all of them. You're going to deal with all of them. There's no easy lane. And you're in a lane right now. And it's hard for you. And I'm sorry that it's hard. I am. And this isn't one of those things where I'm like, well, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. God damn. No. The cure, quote unquote, in my experience to these things is talking them out. Letting somebody know that you're here and it's hard for you. Guys, the treasure in that. Today on the call, because it's Saturday right now, we had our Patreon call where people who support this channel, I talk about them a lot. Thank you very much. They give some money every month and they make this possible. And we were talking today because we do Zoom calls, and links in the description. And one person's talking about, this kind of difficulty we share. And there's no easy place to go. You know what I mean? And it hit me so hard that just talking about these things in a group, we spoke about how sometimes no words are needed. That you meet someone you haven't seen in a few years, and I gave my uncle as an example. I said my uncle will see someone he hasn't seen in 5 years, and they'll meet and they'll watch a movie together and they won't even talk. And it's the most peaceful thing in the world. And he mentioned the same thing, this person on the chat. He's like, yeah, if you're sitting with, my mom, sometimes you don't need to say anything. And you feel cared for, you feel heard, you feel a positive presence. So sit with me here. If this is weird, that's totally cool. I do weird stuff on this channel. And let's just sit together for a bit. In what's hard, in what's difficult for you right now. I'm going to sit with you. So I'm hearing from you that it's hard, that it's difficult, that it's scary, that you're worrying maybe, that there's a lot of unknown, you're devastated, you're confused, you're low, you're unmotivated. Here's the big one. You're tired of having to deal with this more than once, more than twice. I get it. Well, you've been through this before, you got through it then, but so just get through it again. You know one of these things. You did it before, that means you can do it again. We know the logic behind that, but my brain goes, yeah, but I don't want to go through it right now. I don't want to have to go through it again and again and again. Fuck! So notice and be with all these things, whatever you're in right now. Just whatever you're in, just chill. If there's that anger of going through it again, if it's a hard time for you, let's just sit together. Still there? See what's happening right now, and you didn't even realize it. And this will be a separate video I'm going to share with you. Ew, I'm about to say this. Turn your notifications on. Hey, like this if you like it. Ugh. What you're doing right now is you're being with it. You're doing it. You're like, Scott, how am I going to get over this? How am I going to get through this? This is it. This is you doing it. This is the plan. This is it. There's no other answer that you need. You're literally doing it. There's other tools you can use in other moments, but in this moment right now, you're doing the hardest thing. And that's to be with the hard thing. Congratulations. You did it. I know things are hard. I know you're having a go. But you may not notice it. But each hard time is like the sword in the fire. And you forge it each time. And sometimes when you do that, the sword doesn't get stronger, but it changes shape. And sometimes changing shape is the best and the strongest thing to do. And what I mean by changing shape is change the way you look at things, change the way you experience some hard parts of life, change the way you see yourself a little bit, just a little bit. And change doesn't happen overnight. These things come gradually. But, again, it's not what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, although for the most part, I believe that you will and are becoming a stronger person and fortifying just like this beast of a human being that you are. But you're changing shape. And through all of this, admit, as I do, as we all do, that being human is a very difficult thing that involves everything. It's going to be so fun one day for you. You're going to experience so much joy soon. You're going to be on top of the world soon. You're going to wonder how you ever got so low, or how that hard time even came to be or came to pass. You're going to be there. Yeah, you will. Being human is very, very, very awesome and very, very terrible, and it's everything. I commend you and I appreciate you, and I am proud of you for sitting with it and being in this vessel and in this world where things are difficult. You're doing it. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for stopping by the channel. All the links are where you think they are. Bye-bye. Keep it up.